morning, everybody. Well, I wish it was a good morning, but let me say good Friday to everyone. Let's put it to you that way.
Happy February 27th, 57th.
Oh, my gosh. This week seems like it never ended. It just, the days were so freaking long. It drove me bananas. But the good news is I was able to get my lawn cleaned up about 2 weeks ago. I mean, everything. And I was able to put the Scott's First Step program down.
Oh, yeah.
You should see the grass now. I'm ready to start cutting it. I mean, the thing, it's as green can be, which for March is like unheard of, you know. But anyway, we hope we're going to get some better weather. And, you know, it's a nice time of the year. Easter, families get together. I love it. I wish I had a lot of members of my family still with us. And it was just a lot of fun. 26, 28 people and yelling and screaming and playing cards and throwing cards up in the air. I mean, it was a wonderful thing. I mean, now it's like a show. I mean, really, it's sad to see. I love old customs. I love traditions. And speaking of traditions, we have a young man with us today, someone who I've learned to have a great deal of respect for, not only for his efforts when he's in front of the stage performing, but also the way he interacts and represents the people who have hired him. And I'm speaking about Aaron Caruso, and you and I were talking about him earlier. Aaron, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mike. How is everybody? Hello, everybody.
Yeah, hello, everybody is right. Aaron Caruso. You know, last year you were at the feast, and we had already made plans to have our 60th high school reunion, as you probably know. I was supposed to MC that show with you, and we used the Feast of the Three Saints, believe it or not, Aaron, as a lure to bring people back to the city of Lawrence. And, you know, when we send out the invitations for the reunion, I said, look, we're having it Friday night. Come to our event Friday night, stay over Saturday, go to the feast, just like you did when you were a kid.
Yeah.
And we had probably 32 people do exactly that. Members of our class that traveled from all over the country to get there. And we had 70 people at the reunion, which I didn't even think there were 70 of us alive, to be honest. But we even had an entertainer, Aaron. I couldn't afford you. I just, you're out of my reach. But you know something, we had an Elvis impersonator. I hate to use the word impersonator. What else could we use? Impressionist?
Impressionist, honor, I don't know.
Tribute artist.
Tribute artist, that's the phrase he used, yes.
You know, I knew there was a reason why I brought you on.
Hey,
and by the way, your hair looks awesome, dude.
Oh, thanks. I just got out of the shower.
It looks nice. It looks nice. It looks good. I've missed you around here. A lot of people have. And,
I miss you guys. I missed all my friends out in the Merrimack Valley.
Yeah. A lot of people like you. A lot of people like you. You know something? Bringing you and Marissa and doing maybe a dinner show, an old-fashioned dinner show, probably isn't too far of a reach. You know that, right?
Hey, all we got to do is make it happen. And I really enjoyed working with her. She's a class act.
Oh, I can't say
really
enough.
Talented, nice. I don't have to tell you. You're the one that got me involved.
Yeah, she is just a rare commodity. I'll put it to you that way.
I agree.
You know, easy to work with. Nothing phases her.
No.
You know, we had the Methuen Festival of Trees, Louis.
That's right. Yep.
And we were involved with that and bringing in the entertainment for that. And it was their big anniversary, 25 years or something. And the day before, that morning of the show, we had an ice storm here. We had snow and sleet. Well, I get a call 5:30 in the morning. Part of the tent caved in that we were using on the outside.
Yeah.
And this town had to send, I don't know how many guys with shovels. There were like 30 people out there shoveling snow so we could put the tent back up. But no equipment got damaged. None of the equipment got damaged. Neither the audio, video, nothing got damaged. But, I mean, what a sight to see. And you know you're doing a show that night, and you got all this ice and snow everywhere. I mean, it was
Yeah,
awful.
but you had Ray DiFiore on your side.
Well,
so
listen,
how could you go
Ray's the
wrong?
one. Ray's the go-to guy.
Yeah.
I told him I have him on a contingency program. I call him up so often. I say, Ray, I need this. Ray, I need this. Do you know somebody? You know how John Savastano has his email? I know a guy.
Yes.
Ray should have that. Ray DeFury. Ray Aaron was one of the past presidents of the St. Alfio Society, and he's probably been a member now for about 45 years.
Wow.
He lives it, breathes it. His whole family. His wife is my cousin Kay, and everybody, the whole family volunteers during Labor Day weekend. They wouldn't know what to do on Labor Day weekend if there wasn't a feast, to be honest with you. You know, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. Hey, listen, a guy from Detroit. You grew up in Detroit.
Yeah.
And now you're living in Florida.
Well, we actually moved back to Detroit area.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed this.
About a year ago, year and a half ago, my dad got sick and ultimately passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so we have we ended up moving back to help out with the rest of the family, and here we are.
Well, you know something, I'm sure your mom appreciates that.
Well, you know what, they would do it for us, right? You know, I always say that. You know, if you're lucky enough to have a mom or dad alive, give them a call, tell them you love them, go see them, even better.
You know, I was talking to a young lady downstairs in the office on the way up here, and the holidays aren't the same, you know, because we've lost so many members of the family. And I wish that we could go back, you know, when we were like 26 people for Easter dinner.
Oh,
you know, I mean, we'd be complaining about all the cooking and, you know, and cleaning the house and everything else. But I wish that I could have canned all those memories and I think I have to a certain extent. And I just, you take advantage, be nice to you. You may have an argument with your brother, or I may have an argument with my brother, Bob, but you know something, don't let it stay and stay and stay. You know, there's a lot of people that don't talk to siblings. They don't talk to an aunt. They don't talk to an uncle, and they can't even remember why they stopped talking to them. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's called Sicilian Alzheimer's. You forget everything but the grudge. You know,
right. Irish Alzheimer's too. I can testify from my Irish family. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. There you go.
It's really crazy. Now you've been performing for 20 odd years now, right?
Yeah, that's about right, Mike.
Wow.
I can't believe it, but yeah, it's been there professionally.
You got married, right?
I did. Yeah, we got married. We have a little boy,
What's your son's name?
Alessandro.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alessandro, and he's got, speaking of Irish, so the priest that married us is from Ireland. He has an ancient Gaelic name, which is Murica, Father Murica. So we took Murica as the middle name. So he's Alessandro Murica Caruso.
Oh, Gaelic and garlic.
Yeah, Gaelic and garlic. I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Awesome. Hey, listen, a lot of good things are happening with you, huh? I mean,
thank God.
Yeah, I mean, Jeepers Creepers. I mean, you've done all right for yourself, Grasshopper.
Well, thank you, Mike. You know, we have a group. I'm part of the group, the Sicilian Tenors, as well.
Yep.
And we have two national PBS specials playing right now. The second one.
Oh, there's two. I didn't know there was two.
Yeah, we had the first one, which was done about 3 years ago.
Yeah, I know that one.
The second one, we went to England where they filmed Downton Abbey, which is called Highclere Castle. And they gave us the castle.
Say it again. What's it called?
It's called Highclere Castle, is the actual name of where they filmed Downton Abbey in England. And so we did a PBS special. We recorded it there in the castle. And that's currently playing across the United States.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's good. I'll send you a link.
Oh, cool beans. I like it. It.
We have lots of information on our website, thesiciliantenors.com.
Hey, yesterday I got an email from your friend and my friend and someone who we both love dearly, Marianne Esposito.
Oh, the best. How's she doing?
She's doing fat. You know something? She's like the Energizer Bunny, that one. And we had a nice chat, and she thinks the world of you. You know that. I mean, you
Oh,
actually on your website you have some of that film, right? The from when you performed in Lawrence that she
correct.
recorded. You took the folks who don't know, Marianne came to the Feast of the Three Saints when Aaron was headlining,
Yes.
and that night you had over 10,000 people, buddy. You know that, huh?
Unbelievable.
I mean, the crowd was, and they wanted more. You could have done another hour.
All of you guys. That's the biggest audience I believe I've ever sung to.
Well, it was very well appreciated, and I missed those Friday night shows. Tommy Zappler and myself, and I came on board with Tommy as his helper, and I learned a lot from him. He knows a lot about it, and we'd put those things together, and thank God it all worked, and people just loved it, and we had some great entertainers. I mean, the Al Martinos. Al Martino loved you. He loved your voice. He spoke very, very good about you.
I had the honor of singing with Al for the last concert that he ever sang on this earth, which was in Staten Island.
No kidding.
Wow.
Yes.
We got a call. We got a call from him, and he was calling us from Germany.
Oh, wow.
And he had just recorded his last song, Come Taste the Wine, I believe is the name of it.
Wow.
And he was still in the studio when he called. And he says, I just want you to know, he says, just got done recording this song in Germany. And he had a female voice with him, and she was alongside of him. So we were talking to the both of them back and forth. And he says, the reason I'm calling, he says, I want the Sicilian Corner to be the first radio show in North America to hear this song.
Wow.
And we played it. And that's a true story. I love that guy.
Great song, too.
Oh, did a nice job. We had a producer here for many, many years, Bruce Arnold. And we lost Bruce about 9 or 10 years ago. And it's unfortunate, but he just fell in love with that song by Al Martino. He just went bananas over it, and he was thrilled that we were able to, every time we had Al Martino at the feast, we brought him back. He played the most at the feast of anybody else we had. He was there 3 times.
I'll tell you an interesting story about Al Martino.
What's that?
As you know, some 20 years ago, I guess not even 20, maybe 20, maybe 15 years ago. So I was picked to play Mario Lanza on Broadway with Sonny Grasso and Phil Ramone.
Well, first of all, I just want you to back up just a shade. I want you to tell folks that in the New York Tribeca area, if anybody was going to be successful, who did they have to go through? Sonny Grasso and Phil Ramone, right? Those 2 guys had Louis. They controlled the entertainment. If they liked you and they took a liking to Aaron, it was unbelievable. It was just unbelievable. And they bent over backwards. And in all sincerity, you look like a young Mario Lanza. You really do. And your voice, you were a perfect fit. And in all fairness to why that deal didn't go through, and you don't mind me talking a little bit before you say what you have to say. If it wasn't for the recession, Lou, of 2007, 2009, and the financial backing that a venture like this needed, this guy would have been on Broadway, and he would have had a freaking career on Broadway. They would have never let him go.
Yeah.
They would have never let him go.
You're a fit for Broadway too. Yeah.
Yeah. You got the whole package, the way you warm up the people, the way you carry yourself. I love it. I'm glad that you came in contact with the both of them. What a pleasure that must have been.
Well, I got to tell you, it was a great honor. Phil Ramone was a 15-time Grammy winner, and Sonny being the big movie producer. So Phil would give us talks about when he worked with Pavarotti, his friend, and Pav would sing it like this. Why don't you try it like this? Stuff like that. But no, the reason I brought up Mario Lanza was talking about, he's the one that gave Al Martino his break.
I know.
With the song "Here in My Heart."
Mhm.
They wanted Lanza to record it, but Lanza's mom and I guess Al Martino's mom were kind of, I don't know, they were Gumads. They were from the same town, same paisans, whatever. And Lanza found out about it. And then true Lanza style, he told RCA, I'm not going to sing it. Give it to this kid. Because they were going to sign him and shelf him and give the hit to Mario.
Oh, interesting story.
Yeah.
Story. Hey, listen, I'm up against the break. You're going to stay with me because we haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg. It's been a while since you and I literally talked.
Too long.
I know. So, Lou, why don't you take us out? Listen to some of take a look at some of the commercials we have for restaurants. If it doesn't make you want to eat something, and don't come back with a prosciutto sandwich either, all right? But the restaurants and the commercials are really first class. Louis, why don't you take us out, please?
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and can never agree where to go. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with the great Italian cuisine, Capri's Seaside Italian Kitchen and Pizzeria. Me? I love the elegant romantic vibes Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu, with prices that make it the place you want to visit each and every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of a cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Concert Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all of these great places, and they treat everyone like they are Mke Lomazzo. Best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all this fun is right at your fingertips. You can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RestauranteMelisse.com. That's RISTORANTEMELISSE.com. TEMOLISE.com or call 978-388-4844. Restaurante Melisse, where you're treated like family.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141. With a commitment to excellence, Colizzi Memorials is dedicated to helping families capture the spirit of their loved ones by building beautiful, lasting tributes that will endure the test of time. Trust Colizzi Memorials to build a personalized tribute that would reflect your loved one's life forever. That's Colizzi Memorials, 217 Merrimack Street, Methuen, Massachusetts. Telephone number 978-674-7035. 978-674-7035.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler,
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery tender lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
Wow. Louis, you wish you could sing like that?
I do sing like that.
Do you really?
In my head,
Oh,
I
really?
sing like that.
Really? Oh my God, that it gives me goosebumps. I was listening to Aaron Caruso, by the way, is our special guest today, and not only is he a hell of an entertainer, but he's a nice guy. He's one of the nicer men in the entertainment business, and all the years and through the different shows that we've done together, I've always looked forward to it because I knew that I was not going to have agita. You know what agita means, Louis?
I do know what agita means.
All right.
I live it every day.
If I brought in Marissa and Aaron together, forget about it. You thought that was unbelievable. It was the easiest shows that I had to work with, and it was a pleasure. Aaron, what the hell is a pop opera tenor?
Well, it's somebody that sings a various genres of music, not just classical. So some people get scared away by opera. They hear opera and they think, uh, Night at the Opera. They don't realize that, I sing other genres like
I know.
Broadway or some popular stuff or stuff like that.
What do you prefer to do? What's your favorite genre?
Well, my first love is opera, but any song that kind of touches me or communicates with me, and then I feel I can deliver. And that could come from anywhere. It could be a country song that I like, or a jazz or something.
Can you do Achy Breaky Heart?
Correct. I do.
So now
achy breaking your legs. That's the Sicilian version.
now I'm dying to find out what's a country song that you like.
Well, I grew up on old, what's his name, Kenny Rogers. So
Oh, sure.
I have the song "Lady" etched in my soul. I actually recorded it with my style of singing, and I never released it, but I should.
Yeah, that would be good. We have some folks that want to say hello. Andy Parisi wrote in. He said, good morning.
Hey, all right.
He wrote over to Barbara. Barbara is the young lady that I'm seeing now. We've been enjoying life together, which is a good thing.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Good for
she's
you.
listening in. Andy Parisi. You got Roger Trudell. Yeah. So we're having a good time. But I was curious about that pop opera. It's because you could do other types of music. The name Danny Morano, does that mean anything to you?
Danny Morano. Morano, correct. Yes.
Tell me how you got, because I met him. I actually had dinner with him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know. You remember the Gaylords, Aaron?
Very well. I knew them both. They're from Detroit.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. You remember that? Okay. Bert Benaldi and I became pretty close friends. And Bert was a character. Let me tell you.
Something else.
And him and Danny were very, very close.
Correct.
And Danny was the entertainer of the year. I don't know how many years he won that award. Did he teach you your mannerisms on the stage?
Yes, he did. Danny was a great mentor to me. I was sent out to work with him through a friend of mine in Detroit that was involved in restaurants and also entertainment here. A guy by the name of Joe Vicari. And he worked with a group called the Shintas. They put them in Las Vegas years ago, and he wanted to repeat the success. So they sent me to work with Danny.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I lived with Danny for a year practically. I mean, I was with him 12 hours a day.
Jeez.
And I'll tell you what a genius of the stage. Danny was a student of the Gaylords and Louis Prima and those guys.
Exactly. He talked about Louis Prima. We had dinner at Bert's house in Reno.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Are you kidding me?
No. And my wife was giving me a hard time because she didn't want to go, Lucille. And she says, I'm not going to barge in. I'm not. She says, do you realize it's 6.5 hours? It's like driving from, say, Boston to Washington. I said, oh, we'll go there. We'll fly out of there. What the hell's the difference? You know what I mean? So we ended up spending 3 days. I didn't stay with Bert for 3 days, but we got invited to dinner at Bert's. And Danny was there. And what an interesting gentleman. Cheapest, creepest. I could have listened to him all night long.
He took the stage and he took it apart like a scientist. I mean, he studied everything down to, he would tell me, Aaron, I don't know why, but brown suits, I get less applause on evenings where I wear brown suits than if I wear blue or black or gray.
Go figure.
Wow.
I mean, that's the level of...
That's how minute he was. I mean, he got down to the final detail.
Correct.
Unbelievable. Well, you know something? Your results on stage, it shows that you paid attention. You're a good student because you're as at ease on that stage as anybody I know. You have as much fun as your audience.
Well, I do. That's very true, Mike. And when I worked for about two years or so, 2.5 years with Joan Rivers, she gave me a great compliment. Because of my work with Danny, Danny was a comedian and a pianist and a singer, but he taught me how to bring out a little bit of levity on stage and the comedic side of things. He said, Aaron, I don't understand. You're one of the funniest guys I know. And how come you're not funny on stage? I said, well, I don't know. I don't really know how to be. So he taught me how to do that. And Joan.
Interesting.
Yeah, Joan, it is kind of how the evolution of thing. And Joan said, Aaron, you're the only act I've ever worked with that is as good as I feel as comfortable with you as a comic or as a singer. She said, I'd like to see you in Vegas. That's where I want to see.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, you're a Vegas guy.
A couple of times when you go to hit that high note and the band stops playing and you hike up your pants, give yourself a wedgie, and then you go and you nail it. The people go freaking bananas with that. I mean, they love that. They love that. I was listening to one of your CDs you gave me, and you signed it for me, and you put some nice words to it, and it brought back some fantastic memories for me, Aaron. It really did. It was your CD, Mama.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm still waiting to get paid for that CD, Mike.
Oh, you didn't get that check? Huh? You know something? I've been holding on to that CD because I'm hoping against hope that they're going to bring you back and maybe move forward with doing a Mario Lanza play. And that CD will be worth a hell of a lot more than it is right now. You know what I mean?
You got to forgive him, Aaron, because Mike's the king of complimentary. He gets all kinds of free stuff, so he never knows when he's supposed to pay.
Well, I didn't pay for that CD, so the price was right. You know what I mean?
He gave me a second party out-of-state check, and I'm still trying to cash this thing.
It was probably mine. Sorry about that.
Track number 7 on that CD, Mama.
Yeah.
In Marata. Is that it?
In Namorata. Yeah.
In Namorata. And I must have played that. If I didn't play it 5 or 6 times this morning, I didn't play it once. I just love that song.
It's an oldie.
It is. It is. Barbara goes crazy over it. She loves it too.
I had the honor of singing that for Jerry Vale, and that's how I learned to sing the song, was from Jerry Vale, his records. And then I ended up singing for his 75th birthday party.
Wow.
And that's one of the songs I sang for him. I said, wow, this is like the Twilight Zone.
Jerry Vale was the first entertainer, Louis, that we had in our Friday concerts for the Feast of the Three Saints.
I didn't know.
And, we talk about someone who handles himself well and comes across cheap as creepers. I love working with him. That was my first year. And I was a nervous wreck. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And you know something? He just put his arms around me at one point and says, listen, que sera, sera. Do the best you can. Whatever happens, happens. But he was a really, a super, super, super nice guy. And Neil Sedaka was the following year. Wow. Neil was the most talented, I think, of all the entertainers. He could play. He could play like 11 instruments. Speaking of instruments, piano. You still playing the piano?
I do. Yes, I've been known to tickle the ivories once in a while.
How about the trombone?
Yeah, a little, not very often, but I still play it.
Well, you started entertaining at what, 5 or 6? How old were you? 6 years old or something?
I started about 4 years old, 4 or 5. I was playing piano.
4 years old.
Yep.
Yeah. And then,
playing piano, yeah.
And then you know what it's like growing up in a big family. I would entertain my aunts and uncles.
Yep.
And
they thought you were so cute.
Well,
did Aunt Grace pinch your cheeks?
Yeah, always the pinch cheeks. That was it. I hated that, but now I'm the one pinching cheeks. But I would play the Godfather for them. They said, "Play the Godfather," and I would play it. Then I didn't know I could sing yet.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I was out playing football in the park one day. I was about 12.
It must have been tag football.
Yeah. It was full contact.
Yeah, okay.
And
Yeah.
I got my
like Tommy Zappler at Austin Prep. That's like a girls' school. Played football. Class W.
we were just, it was a pickup game with kids from the neighborhood. So it was anything goes. So I had a medal around my neck and I lost it. Someone ripped it off in the park. So my mother said, get back there. I want you to pray to St. Anthony. I'm going to pray to St. Anthony. You're going to find it. I said, Ma, it's been a week. Those people come with those metal detectors. It's gone. She said, I prayed to St. Anthony, get back there and you'll find it. I got out of the car. It was raining. It was muddy. My dad took me. I took about 20 steps. I looked between my feet. There were some medals.
No way.
My hand to God. So I went back to my Ma. I said, Ma, I found it. She said, I told you I was praying to St. Anthony. I knew you'd find it. I said, well, what'd you say? And she said, well, I told him if you found your medals that you would sing in church for him.
Oh.
I said, Ma, you can't make promises to saints. I said, I'm not a singer. I'm a piano player. She said, well, you better start singing. So I did. My mom knew before I did. There you go.
Right. But could you sing or did you learn to sing? And are people singers or can they learn to sing or how does that work?
I think we all start, in the back seat listening to the radio.
Yeah.
Or with the record player. So I would kind of try to match pitch. I thought I was good at it. And but I never, it took me 6 months to sing in front of my family once I found out I could sing. I was terribly, terribly shy.
Yeah.
Terribly shy. So
Aaron,
if you can hear, to answer your question, sorry to interrupt, Mike. If you can hear pitch, if I say to you, if I go, and you go, then you can't learn how to sing.
Yeah.
But if you can match pitch, then yes, you can be taught how to sing.
Aaron, one of our loyal listeners, her name is Nancy DeMarco. She's been with us. We've been on the air for 23 years. I think she started with us 23 years ago.
Wow.
And she's had a little bit, she's had some problems and she had to go to rehab and now she's home. So I'd like Aaron Caruso to say good morning to Nancy. Could you do that for me?
Nancy, you're a devout follower of the Sicilian Corner. For that alone, you should get some kind of an award, Nancy. You know what I mean? But we love you, Nancy. Thank you for being so devout to the Sicilian Corner. Wishing you a happy day and a buona Pasqua.
Absolutely.
And Pasquetta and God bless you, Nancy. Thank you for listening, Dal.
Listen, on that note, buddy, I have to listen to some of our sponsors because they pay the bills. You know what I mean? Zordis. Without the Zordis, forget it. You're not here. But anyway, we'll be right back, everybody. Stay tuned. Aaron's going to be back with us until noontime.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and can never agree where to go. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with great Italian cuisine, Capri's seaside Italian kitchen and pizzeria. Me? I love the elegant romantic vibe Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu with prices that make it the place you want to visit each and every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of a cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Concert Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all of these great places, and they treat everyone like they are Mke Lomazzo. Best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all this fun is right at your fingertips. You can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Sisters and co-owners Antoinetta and Elisa brought their family authentic Italian recipes from Molise, Italy, and a warm and welcoming dining experience to its customers at Ristorante Molise. The combination of their meals made from natural, homemade, fresh ingredients, and your time with family and friends together at dinner time is unmatched. Located in Market Square in the heart of Amesbury, they're open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday from 3 to 9 p.m. and are available for private parties during off hours. For reservations, call them at 978-388-4844. That's 978-388-4844.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141. With a commitment to excellence, Colizzi Memorials is dedicated to helping families capture the spirit of their loved ones by building beautiful, lasting tributes that will endure the test of time. Trust Colizzi Memorials to build a personalized tribute that would reflect your loved one's life forever. That's Colizzi Memorials, 217 Merrimack Street, Methuen, Massachusetts. Telephone number 978-674-7035. 978-674-7035.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler.
Owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
Hey, I love it. I love it. You know, Aaron, you mentioned that you were traveling nationwide on a tour for Joan Rivers.
Yes.
You opened for her, right?
Yeah, correct.
What was she like? Can you tell us, Sicilian Corner listeners?
Well, you know, they say that the Jewish people and the Italians are two divisions of the same company. And I got to tell you, she was like my little Jewish grandmother, God bless her. She was so nice, so kind, so thoughtful.
That's good to know.
Off the mic. When she got on stage, she was a perfectionist. I only saw her flip out one time. We were in Florida, and she has two people go before her to test all the mics and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Not one, two. So by the time she gets there, it better be perfect. So for whatever reason, this sound guy was out to lunch, and Joel just tore him up. I mean, she said, they could get it right in the 1968 at the what was this little hole in the wall place in New York City. He goes, but you can't get it right in here. And a few other colorful words were used, Mike.
No.
That I'm not going to say. But she told me when she was on E! Doing those red carpet events with the celebrities.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She said the lady at the front, I can't remember her name. She had an Italian name. If the celebrities were mean to her, they would give a signal to Joan, and then Joan would destroy him.
She was the hitman.
Yeah, she was the heavy.
Wipe them out. Wipe them out.
Yeah.
You know, in your career, and I mean, you probably have another 30, 35, 40 years to go. I hope because you're very, very proud of being an Italian.
Yes.
I learned that the first time I met you, and it shows. And it shows. And the songs that you choose and the way you present them, you can tell your Italian heritage is very, very important to you. I know you have performed in St. Patrick's Cathedral. I can't even imagine your voice with the acoustics like in that church. It had to be phenomenal. I mean, you have performed Carnegie Hall. Can you tell our listeners about Carnegie Hall? What was that like for Aaron Caruso, a little kid from Detroit?
Well, it was, as you can imagine, it was very daunting, and I was extremely nervous. I was terrified. I mean, I remember before I went on stage thinking, Mike, I mean, it's like a baseball player walking into, Yankee Stadium or wherever else.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the end all be all. Just sort of thinking about that, all these great artists that came before singing on that stage, it was very, very intimidating.
Daunting would probably be the word. I notice you have a pretty bad cold, honey. Would you like some of these?
I have allergies,
it's allergies. All right. I thought you had a cold.
No, I wake up in the morning with the worst allergies, and they just didn't go away today for some reason. I think because I had a glass of Prosecco, I start sneezing the next day.
Is that what you have instead of coffee?
That's right.
You're funny.
You know, Mike.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention about the tenors. We have a couple of shows coming to your side of the woods.
Oh, really? Where?
At the end of in November 13th and November 14th, we're going to be at Lake Pearl in Rentham, Massachusetts.
Okay.
The Sicilian Tenors, and featuring, we're bringing our accordion player, the world champion Corey Pezzaturo. And then also Thursday, November 14th, in Castleton. In Wyndham. It's called Castleton, in Wyndham, New Hampshire. Do you know that?
Mike, it's your backyard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mike.
it's about 3/4 of a mile from my house.
Is it
Mikey,
really?
I live there.
You got to have them over for dinner.
Are you serious? What's the date for that?
November 14th is Wyndham, and
November 14th is Wyndham.
and November 13th is Rentham. This is through bestoftimestravel.com. Best of Times, which is the tour group.
I don't need no travel agency. I just
we'll
walk,
get you.
walk to Castleton.
We'll get you in, Mike.
Yeah. This is great. Oh my
Get
God.
you in, Mike. You got to take them on a tour of Wyndham.
I have a couple of people. I know a couple of people. Barbara, guess where you're going November 14th? You know? Can you help me out with some tickets or whatever? I have to pay for them. What are you?
I got
what do
you
I
covered. It's a dinner show, and it's usually
the food, by the way, is very good. The pond. It's on Corbett's Pond. It's a great location. It's a beautiful venue, and cheap as creepers. That is wonderful. I had no idea you were coming to Wyndham, New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's got to hang out in Mikey's pool before the show.
In November.
Yeah, in November. You know,
come on, will you please?
It's not going to work.
That's awesome, dude. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, there was a restaurant. I knew you lived in New York, Connecticut for quite a while, right?
Yeah. Yes.
The restaurant this is on Mulberry Street. They had a room that was named Caruso in this restaurant, and the restaurant was named after the Blue Grotto. Azzurri.
The Grotta Azzurra, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever play in that room? Because that room was named Caruso.
I have.
No.
I have. Yep.
Is it named after you, Aaron?
No,
not after him.
No.
Great grandpa.
After the big one. After the big guy.
Big Caruso, yeah.
Great grandpa sang well. That's what we always say, you know.
Their food was when Mulberry Street in New York's Little Italy was Little Italy before the Chinese chased them out.
Hey, we're good.
It was just fantastic. It was just, I love going there. That, and I like going to Patsy's on 46th Street.
Yeah.
Patsy's was another, and everybody was in the entertainment business would be in there. I mean, that family owned that business. My stockbroker actually lived directly across the street from Patsy's. I used to love to go visit him. I mean, because we always ate there. I mean, they knew him like the back of his, It was just some great. I like restaurants that have been around for a long time and have tradition. Maybe 2, 3, 4 different generations.
Yeah.
I think that's so important.
Absolutely.
Aaron, what's the last thing you listen to on Spotify? What's the last thing you listen to on Pandora or CDs? I don't know what you're doing. Who do you listen to for fun?
Wow, that's a good question. So I played some classical music, some Mozart for my little boy yesterday. It was on Apple Music. I don't listen to Spotify or Pandora, but I should because they have some cool stations.
Yeah.
The stuff I listen to in my car, I try to find old Gaylord albums and listen to
You're mentioning the Gaylords now. You just breaking my chops because No, you liked them. You followed them.
I loved them. Ronnie Gaylord was a genius. Ronnie wrote a song that we're going to be recording called I May Never Pass This Way Again.
That became such a hit for them. They have no idea. Yeah. You probably do know.
Glenn Campbell covered it.
Yeah.
Among others. He wrote a play. He wrote a musical called Familia. And that show was about the Italian-American experience from the grandfather who came from Italy to the son who's kind of half got a foot in Italy, foot in America, and then the young son who wants to be a rock and roll singer. It's hilarious.
Oh, what a great idea.
I tell you, the thing
like
could run
that.
on Broadway. I think we're going to do it here in Michigan. But if we get this show, we take it on the road, I'll call you. It's wonderful.
The Sicilian tenors are really starting to pick up a lot of stream, huh? They're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Your name is getting recognized.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic. And you know something? You talked about comedy in your shows. You guys bring a little bit of that on the stage with you, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Now, the fellas you play with, like I know Joe, you went to school with him, didn't you?
With Sammy. You're thinking of Sammy.
Sammy. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. We went to University of Michigan together. That's right. Sam Vitale, and then Elio Scaccio. Elio Scaccio's originally from New Jersey, but they both live in the Baltimore area now. And we go all over the country. We're just down in Florida. That's a picture in front of Downton Abbey, the original, the TV show. It's called Highclere Castle in real life. But that's the show we're bringing to Rentham and Wyndham. And
the Sicilian tenors are going to be in Wyndham, not just
correct. That's the Sicilian Tenors featuring a wonderful. I'd like to get him on your show. Matter of fact, the world champion accordion player Corey Pezzaturo.
Oh, for Pete's sakes!
He's from Rhode Island.
I know. I've heard of
Corey.
Yeah,
somebody's going to show up on the show.
Hey, listen. Unfortunately, our hour is up. It flew by. I hope your allergies get better.
Thank you.
Once again, to you, your family.
Yes.
Happy Easter, pal.
Hey, God bless you. We'll keep you guys in our prayers. Keep us in yours, and keep doing what you're doing. This is a wonderful show. All my best to all your listeners.
We'll be in touch.
Okay.
I promise. I promise. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful Easter. Take care. We'll see you next week. We're doing our international show next week. We're going to be in Sicily. All right. Louis, why don't you take us out?